Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review video. Today we will be looking at The Wretched, a 2019 horror film that you can currently watch on Netflix and other places. I watched it on Netflix. Now listen, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a PSA before we hop into this movie. It's really, really bad. Like, not even a little bit good. It's a bad movie. Like, it's almost downright offensive how bad it is. However, I enjoy watching those kinds of movies. And there are like three really, really good elements to the movie that I will talk about later. But before we hop in, be sure to like the video and subscribe. We are so close to hitting 100 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it. Now, this movie begins in 1985. A babysitter arrives at the home of the Gambles to babysit their daughter, Ashley. When she gets there, she has a pretty, pointless and arguably generic phone call with her mother about not having boys over. And it's just like a very generic parent-daughter conversation. And I get that she's gonna die real soon, but still, it'd be nice to have a little bit more in-depth conversations. The babysitter eventually goes looking for the daughter that she's supposed to be babysitting, and finds the basement. A classic, if you would. The spooky ass fucking basement. Let's go down there and see what's inside, where she finds what can only be assumed the mother eating her fucking daughter. Oh my god. Holy shit. Terrified, she stumbles up the stairs trying to escape, and at the top of the stairs, she sees the father trying to do his best imitation of Jigsaw. Let's see how he does. Well, he forgot to say the line, but don't worry, I got you. Game over. Anywho, we zoom out on a symbol on the door, and I'm sure that's completely irrelevant to the story and won't have any importance at all. That's not a thing. In the present, we follow a teenage boy who literally not until 30 minutes into the movie do you learn his name. It's gonna be one of those kind of a movies. To save us a little bit of trouble, I'm gonna call him by his name, which is Ben. He's traveling to his father's house as his parents are in the middle of a divorce. Liam, his father, gives Ben a job working at the marina where he befriends Mallory. One of literally only two characters in this movie that actually has a little bit of a personality, and her personality's kind of generic when it comes to that. During his shift, he notices that his father is kissing his coworker, Sarah, not Liam's coworker, or not Ben's coworker, but Liam's coworker. Not a whole. I could have written that better. We then cut to Liam's neighbors, who Ben was kind of ogling that morning. He's one of those characters. They are in the woods. Abby and her son Dylan find a tree with the same symbol that was on the Gamble's house, and you might be wondering who the fuck was that. And even though I said it a little bit earlier, it's not mentioned at all who the house the babysitter was at the very beginning. Not even now when the story's happening, years later, it's never mentioned what their names are. I had to Google it and find out what their names were to get a better understanding of that kind of a situation. While approaching this stump thing, Dylan hears what sounds like Abby's voice coming from the tree, calling from the tree to ask him to come into the tree. Abby appears behind him, and though it's never seen, they accidentally hit a buck, and later that night we get treated to some S-class visual effects. Effects in this movie insane for how bad the movie is. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Ben investigates a strange noise that he hears on the roof. He follows the sound over to Abby's house, but all he finds is an animal. He catches a brief glimpse of the witch. By the way, it's a witch, if you couldn't piece that together. I couldn't. At first, I thought it was just a monster, but no, it's a witch. But cannot like be sure of what he sees because Abby's husband, Ty. By the way, like I said with Ben's name, I think only 3 names are said in the entire fucking movie. I had to Google what their names were. Anyways, Ty turns on the porch light and, through some shenanigans, Ben befriends Dylan, their son, and makes him promise to tell Ben if he sees anything strange around his house. That night, Abby goes to check on their infant son, and he's not there. He pulled a Houdini and disappeared, and all that was left was a bundle of sticks. And then we get treated to the only jump scare in the entire movie, getting grabbed from under the crib and like sucked into the shadow realm. Abby then just kind of disappears for a little bit, and we cut to Ben, like I think he got woke up by a noise or something, and he looks out the window and he sees Abby walking towards the forest, like clear sign of some fuckery going on. And you might want to, for your own good, Ben, close, yeah, there you go, just go to bed. Ben returns home late one night and finds Dylan hiding in his house, claiming that there's something wrong with his mother. Abby comes looking for Dylan, threatening Ben and attempting to get into the house, which, like, don't let him go. Don't let the kid go. Like, clearly not going to a safe place. Ty comes over and takes Dylan home. Dylan then tries to tell Ty about Abby acting weird, but Ty dismisses his concerns by saying his wife has always been weird. But, like, your wife smells like a fucking bog and is scaring the shit out of your kid. So, you might want to, I don't know, think about that being a concern for everybody's well-being. At work, Ben learns that Dylan never showed up for their sailing lesson. When he goes to Dylan's house, Ty denies that he even ever had a son, which is actually allowing me to bring up a really strong element of this movie, which is the story behind it. Like, the concept of a demon or a witch that feeds off of the souls or life essence of those who are forgotten and kills you by making people forget you exist is kind of a fucking insane idea, and like has the potential to be one of the greatest fucking bad dudes ever, but no. It's had to be a shitty movie. Ben is suspicious and reads about a witch known for wearing the skins of their victims and feeding on the forgotten. He confides with Mallory, but she doesn't take him very seriously and actually like slips a note under Abby's door taunting her, which I mean is a one-way ticket to fucking die in these kinds of movies. Ben sneaks into Abby's cellar, finds a picture of her family with Ty's face scratched out, along with a picture of Mallory and her sister. He realizes by the picture that the witch is actually going to go after Lily next. And I'm going to cut in here a little bit. Dylan disappeared prior to this, and nobody really fucking cares. So we're just going to hop back into the story. He calls Mallory to warn her that Lily is in danger, but Mallory does not even remember she has a sister, which is actually, like I said, it's a terrifying concept to think about. Ben rushes over to save Lily, but is too late. And this will also be another point where I can bring up a completely side plot that never actually contributes to anything aside from this part. There's like this weird gang of teenage bullies in the town for some reason that are just actively picking on Ben, and they trick him into go to skinny dipping, and then eventually like make fun of his dick, and then like for revenge he dumps fish guts into their boat, and then as revenge for the revenge they like stop him from getting to the witch by punching the fuck out of him, and then a fight breaks out, but he eventually gets away, and it's just very like not really important aside from this one thing, and I feel like it was put here in order to give Ben a reason as to why he couldn't catch up with the witch. But anyways, as the witch pulled her down into her demonic semi-underground tree, he tries to pull Lily out, but his grip is broken and he's knocked out from falling back onto a rock. Upon returning home, he finds that Liam has called the police due to Ben missing. Ben attempts to explain what was happening with the neighbors, but is accused of being on drugs. Ben confides in Sarah, but notices the flowers decaying next to her and realizes that she's the witch because the witch is inhabiting Sarah's skin. When he tries to attack her, he slashes her arm, but the witch makes it look like he had just attacked her for no reason. He's taken into custody. Ben sees Sarah whispering into the officer's ears. He tells his dad that Sarah is the witch, and he pleads for his dad to check the neighbor's house and actively do something. I have to give credit to the actor who plays as Liam. He did a phenomenal job of portraying this kind of broken down, kind of disordered father who actively cares about his son but can't do anything about it because his son seems to actively be going against everything that is good for him from, Liam's point of view. Instead of taking Ben to the station, the officer attempts to drown Ben, which was kind of hinted at the beginning of the movie when he woke up from a nightmare where he was drowning. Ben is then saved by the goodest boy ever. Now, I won't show it, but the dog does actually get shot, and spoiler alert, he survives. And the officer kills himself because he realizes that he's no longer in control and was actively trying to kill a child. So, more power to you, I guess, but still. Meanwhile, Liam finds dead bodies of Ty and Abby in their house. Demonic Sarah attacks Liam and nearly gets him, nearly kills him, until Ben arrives and shoots her with the cop's gun. Holy fucking shit, she crawls out of Sarah's body. God damn, that looks so cool. And goes after Ben, but he takes Liam to a safety of his vehicle for some reason that prevented the witch from getting... I actually don't know why the witch didn't go and finish off Liam. I'm not 100% positive on that. The house that they were in burns down, and a picture of Ben and his family also burns, which allows Ben to suddenly remember that he actually has a little brother, which is one of the darkest twists for a shitty fucking B flick that this movie is. It's holy shit, he had a brother the entire time, and they do a montage of all the scenes where his brother was actually in them, but wasn't because he couldn't remember, and it's just holy crap, that's insane that they would do a twist like that. I really like that twist, and I honestly had no idea that was happening. I think they did a very good job with that and suspending us in thinking that Ben was just an idiot. He is, but still. Ben and Mallory go to the tree to rescue their siblings as Ben rescues Nathan, his little brother, and Lily. Liam arrives and rams his car into the witch. Unfortunately, they're too occupied with Liam's injuries to finish off the witch completely, even though they burned her lair to the ground. Afterwards, Ben and Nathan are leaving to return to their mother's house. Liam says he will stay with his brother while he heals from the witch's attacks. Ben and Mallory have a goodbye kiss, and she puts a flower in his hair before sailing off. Ben notices the flower is fake, implying that the witch is actually now possessing Mallory, who is alone in the middle of the lake with 3 children. Dun dun dun! Wow, the killer's actually still alive twist. Who would have seen it? This movie has some really good solid points and some really, really bad ones. So with that, The Wretched is 100% a roller coaster ride of quality. I truly loved the visual effects in this movie. It was phenomenal. And the acting from the dad was top tier. As well as the idea behind the movie. Just a fucking, a witch that feasts on those who are forgotten. It's a phenomenal idea. Absolutely brilliant. However, this movie it's just a downright shitty movie. I can't, the good points cannot carry the movie to the finish line kind of a thing. Especially because this was marketed as a super scary movie. And there were a few times where I bamboozled myself into thinking that I could actually get scared by it. But it's not a fucking scary movie. It's bad. Don't get me wrong. In theory, it could be great. In theory, it was you got the spooky witch, you got some good actors, you got phenomenal visual effects, but in execution, it was fucking awful. Also, I unequivocally hated Ben. Like, his character sucked. He was your most generic pervert teen boy ever. And I will admit, they made an attempt to give him some sort of, I don't know, history with the whole broken arm. And the reason he got a broken arm was because he was trying to steal drugs from his neighbor, which, like, that does actively give him a little bit more of a thing about him. But it doesn't change the fact that I was hoping he would die at the end, which is never a good thing. If you want to have a protagonist that's going to live, that's not a good thing. So I'm gonna have to give this movie a 4 out of 10. Now, not even the fantastic visual effects can save this movie. It was too much. And to give you guys a brief explanation for my scores, for like a refresher, because it's been a few months since I've said anything about it. It's a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst movie I've seen, 10 being the best movie I've seen. And the score that you should really pay attention to is 5, because 5 is like 5 and above is a movie that I'm willing to watch again. And 4 below is a movie that I will never watch again. And like I said, this is a 4 out of 10 from me. It's just not the best. Now, with that being said, I think you guys should go and watch the movie for yourself. And let me know what your score for the movie is down in the comments below. As well as be sure to like the video and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.